Welcome back, hippie friends. Chrissy here, bringing you the vibe. All right, we're gonna shuffle. While we're shuffling, there's something I want to go over with you. Guys, I know it's crazy in the world right now. It would not benefit us as a collective to put our heads in the sand and completely ignore or discard the reality of what's happening on our planet and the horrors that are taking place across the globe. However, most of us, if not all of us, are in positions where we can't just, as much as you want to dive in and fix and save and rescue and cure, and you do, and it's coming from the most authentic, beautiful place in your soul. But the truth is, you can't, you're limited in your human body right now in that way, right? Like going to a different part of the world and diving in physically and rescuing. Many of us don't have that ability or opportunity to do such, to be a hero in that way. But that doesn't mean the desire isn't there. So what could you do? Right now, many people are laying awake at night and wrestling with things that are bothering them that they're seeing on the news and stuff like that. That is an option. That is real. That is valid. That isn't the only option. Vibrationally, we can assist as much as we can. Now more than ever, we have to anchor the light. We have to. So when you're laying there at night and you're worried and you're wrestling and you're picturing things and you're sad and you're nervous and you're scared, that's all real. We can't ignore that, pretend that that's not happening, but we can still lean into the power of choice. Choose to picture a different outcome. Root there, anchor there. Picture something beautiful happening, a miracle, a rescue. Thank you, Finn. Sorry, guys. My cat jumped down and this started to shake. Picture what you want to happen, what you wish to happen. Picture the blessing, the miracle, the help, the hero. I know it sounds ridiculous and it probably feels like you're sitting in a corner of your room playing pretend and imagination while things are really big and heavy happening to families and people. But that's the vibration you want to feed. You want to feed the vibration of hope and optimism and positive outcomes. You want to continue to root in the belief of miracles and blessings, right? The power of choice. So we can't physically stop things from happening, right? But we can vibrationally choose what to feed. Which part of the collective are we going to feed? Are we going to root in the fear and continue to feed that vibrationally? Or are we going to choose to use our brain, which is the magic wand, to literally keep picturing what we want to happen and stay in that place of love and be like, no, the universe got us. God's coming through. Spirit's coming through. Like, hold that light, hold that. I just wanted to address that. And this isn't something I would address often. Like my channel, I like to think my channel is a little space where you can escape those things and be fun and silly and playful and connect to spirit in the ways that work for you. But I did today want to take a minute. So I hope that was helpful. Maybe to some it was, maybe to some it wasn't. And the first card, manifestation power. Spirit's like, oh, you gonna talk today, girl. This ain't gonna be a cute little card flip. You're gonna work. Okay. Guys, your brain is the magic wand. What you think about will be. And I know that's really hard to wrap your mind around, especially when you go through things that you were like, I would never choose that. I would never manifest that. I would never want to attract that. So right away, that's easy to dismiss. You'd be like, no, girl, I think about things all the time and they don't happen. Or the things then there's other things that happen that I didn't want to happen. But it's not like a fleeting thought. Or it's like, it's not that. It's more like core beliefs. It's like where you focus, what you expect to happen, how you move through your day, and the things that you are truly like connecting with, right? So I feel like I am destroying this, but I'm gonna keep going. Let me give you an example. When I used to waitress, sometimes I would come across tables that had energy that was not energy I really wanted to deliver food to. Wasn't a good time. But instead of playing victim mentality and like, oh, this table's being mean to me, going in the kitchen and just having a fit, I would be like, okay, there's a purpose here. The first thing I would do is go, okay, what's going on with me vibrationally that maybe I'm like, if they're crabby and cranky, am I crabby and cranky? Is there something going on in me that's active that I might be attracting that? Because energy doesn't lie. And 9 times out of 10, I was like, ooh, you know what? I did come in a little bit salty today. I was like, I don't feel like working. So like, I have to honor that. And then I have to go, okay, well, there was a vibration in them that was active, and there was a vibration in me that was active, and now here we are. So what can I do with this? How can I disarm this? Where can I be accountable in like productivity, positivity? How can I turn this around? Where can I alchemize the situation? What do I need to learn? Is this an opportunity for me to strengthen patience, right? Strengthen compassion. We see them as crabby, but maybe they had a bad day. Maybe something terrible happened. Maybe they have the weight of the world on their shoulders and they don't know how to trust their faith yet. Right? So I hope this is landing. I gotta tell you, I don't know. The energy today feels intense. It feels like I'm getting pushed from spirit to talk more, to channel more, to talk more about your individual power and what you're capable of and how you are a walking magnet for certain things, and even things that you don't believe you're a magnet for and just end up in your space. Okay, but then use that as an opportunity. Why is it in your space? What can we do with it? So, it's the same thing with like hunt. Well, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. But we did lightly tap on the tragedies in the world today, and I was trying to find my words for like how, like what I wanted to say next, like what we can do with that, how we could move through that, how we could find peace in a world that doesn't feel peaceful, right? Like I'm trying to like listen, but then also cognitively put together a sentence. And I looked down and the second card that we had pulled together was the release card. Yeah, we have to, you have to, my darling, you have to find a way to release that pain, that place of hopelessness, because it's not real. The light always wins. I'm telling you, the light always wins. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean that things that are negative, low vibe, the darknesses of the world, that doesn't mean they have to be eliminated for the light to win. We're talking about balance here. Unfortunately, as far back as you can remember, since the first day on Earth, and I don't mean your first day on Earth, I mean Earth, like things were always like messy and weird and negative. Like, look, take a history class. It's not a good time. You're like, ooh, that was rough and we might be terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. So, but we keep getting better. We keep learning. We keep alchemizing. We keep growing. As a collective, we keep choosing positivity. Look at spirituality. Look at this. Look at this. You're watching an oracle card reader. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at where we're going as a collective. We are rising. We are the light. We are anchoring the light, and we are rising. And the darknesses of the world that are trying to keep it dark, they're going to be disappointed. There might always be a new trick up their sleeves, and they'll always keep trying because they're grimy like that. But like, the miracles are gonna come in. They have already. I know it doesn't seem like that, especially if you're a news watcher, which I don't recommend because I don't believe. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. We'll just say that. You have to find a way. You have to find a way to release the pain in your heart and like try and find some peace, try and root in hope, in optimism, in believing that the light will always supersede the dark. And know that your what you think about does matter. So if you're stewing in hate and fear and rage, you're feeding that dark vibration. You're feeding those energies. They're loving it. They're siphoning it. They're like, please, they can't get enough. But if you choose to picture the most beautiful outcomes, the biggest blessings, the largest miracles, and you're like, nah, man, good luck with that. I know angels are coming. And you don't choose anything but that belief, it does more for the planet than I can convince you right now. Like, I don't know how to convince you of that. I can't. You're just gonna have to trust me, I guess. But I know it's not easy, and I know this message was a little bit but I think it needed to come up and out. Ugh, I'm almost scared to post it. All right, whatever, here we go.